I'm Johnny Ray, and this is 5-Hour Recovery for addicts, from addicts, real, raw, unedited, and unprepared testimonies and stories of people who have gone through the clutches of addiction. With me today is 2 stars of 5-Hour Recovery, people who have shared their testimony. Dan's been in a lot of videos. Dustin has shared his video, and I can't wait for them to both come into the Diversion Center and talk about the father and son relationship in addiction. They're here today to share a little bit of their story as a father and a son who have gone through the different things in addiction. Obviously, Dustin's flexing right now. So he's giving, not even flexing, you're just naturally built? Dude, this guy's the Hulk. So I guess I want to ask you guys a couple questions. I want to know, how is your guys' relationship today? What do you remember, Dustin, as a kid in addiction? What did you go through? And what did you do, Dan, to get your son back in your life? So why don't we start with Dustin?
Wow, this was definitely unprepared.
That's the point. That's what we want. We want how you truly felt, man. Like
raw. And I know I've gotten your individual story, but with your dad sitting right next to you, how has that changed things? How was it for you with his addiction?
Well, it definitely sucked. I mean, when you live with grandparents that are super strict, versus living with your parents that are okay. A lot of the time, the strange part is like knowing if you're ever going to see them again. And then you start hating them. I've noticed I did hate them for a while, and then it kind of and then I started not focusing on that. It was more like girls.
Of course, right. You are my son.
And school. And work.
And school. You notice girls
then
education.
School later, right.
I can't say that I disagree with that. So there you go. Okay, so you hated them.
And then I just kind of just learned to just not care as much. I kind of not so much as much care, just kind of just let it go over through my brain, just not think about it anymore. A lot of the time it was just, okay, well, I'm not going to ever end up like that. So then I started hating people that always didn't take care of their kids and things like that. And then I built up a hatred for people like that. Then it just went through my brain again, just whatever, it's just life's everything in somebody's house going to deal with somebody in a different family. Then it was depression. A lot of depression. That's the main thing. It's either you get depression or you get anger problems. I've noticed all the time. Kids that I've had friends that have the same issues as I did growing up, they tended to get angry, at little things, and started to using the things that they've had in their past, predict what they're going to do in the future, and then they end up exactly how they didn't want to be growing up. So a lot of the time it was just hard, kind of.
Yeah Makes sense.
It's honesty.
Yeah, have you ever talked about this with your son a lot? I'm sure you guys have.
No, really. We're going to be honest.
Okay, so let's be honest. When I first talked to him, after getting clean, so for me, with my son and my addiction, it was absolutely what he had to see. What he lived through was horrendous. I had him in high-speed chases in a motorhome where guys were pulling guns on me because I just stole their dope from them. To pretty much everything, saw me shoot up. I lied to him all the time about how things were going to get better, of course, because that's what addicts do. Oh, I got this. That's what I used to tell him all the time. Until I didn't have it, it got so bad that I had to call my dad, his grandfather, and actually he called him first, and then my dad called me, that's right. And I told him, come get him. I can't get clean. I just couldn't do it. I didn't think I could, right? And so they came and picked him up. My dad said, well, I expect you to be down here by this amount of time. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. It didn't happen. It was another 2 years.
Yeah, it was a little bit longer than 2 years. But
was it? Yeah.
I've
lost a lot of memory,
I was almost 18 when you got me back. Remember that?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So yeah, it was about 3 years. The first conversation I had with him was not a very nice one. He pretty much told me I was a piece of shit, which I was. So, I deserved every fucking bit of that, right?
Definitely.
I ended up going down there because of my other son, Nicholas, who, instead of being like Dustin's a very compassionate, loving person. My other son, Nicholas, was just angry. He's a middle child, angry about everything. And we had to go take him and bring him up here because he decided he was going to try to play the tough guy with my dad, which is a bad idea. So I brought him up here, and he was here. How long was he here?
Like, he started, like, I think June, and then started school, and then left a month later.
Yeah, like 3-4 months, probably, something like that. And he ran away and went back down to Oregon. My wife ended up having lung cancer, which she still has. And we'd been in, like, I wouldn't say constant communication at that point, but we talked back and forth. And Dustin wanted to come down and be with his mom, because obviously she's not exactly healthy. For me, having my son back in my life after what I did, if it was my dad and it was me as his son and my dad did what I did, I don't know if I could forgive him. I don't think he's actually fully 100% forgiven me for what I've done. And I deserve that, right? I did that. Nobody else but me.
Damn right.
My fucking choices, right?
Right.
So I neglected my children. I put them through fucking hell. We don't always see eye to eye.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time we try to. We're a lot alike.
Or we just pick on each other.
But having him back in my life is like the greatest gift God could ever give me.
Definitely.
Like, and that's God, man, because I couldn't do it by myself. Like, I couldn't even get clean by myself. You know, and just having him here, whether he's being an ass or not, like, he can be an ass. Trust me. It doesn't even matter. Like, I can overlook anything he says or does. Like, because when I look back at me at his age, I was off the fucking chain, dude. Like, I was doing shit that most people in prison hadn't even thought of doing yet, you know? And so, for my son to graduate high school, which I'm so fucking proud of you,
Well done.
like, that's huge, right?
That's big.
And me being able to be a part of that again, that means everything. For real, dude. You don't even know. I mean, your mom's so proud. I'm so fucking proud of you, dude. Like, and I know you're proud of us and what we do, but I know you're still angry.
Not really anymore. It's just like the little shit that gets.
Yeah, you are.
I will
Not
say
really,
this.
but
When you are clean, you still keep those little addict attitudes, like, and wordings that you would use back then, right?
Okay.
It's the little shit. It's not like, you know, like, hey, can you do this? Like, I'm okay with being asked. It's just like when you're doing it and then you're asked.
Mm-hmm.
It's that little shit that gets to me. And then, like, the little things that you notice while they were in their addiction that happened a lot.
Yeah.
Was the most. That's, like, triggering for, like, a kid. Not to use, obviously. It's more like PTSD, but for an
like a
addict.
fear maybe that we're
Yeah,
going back
kinda like-
out or
Yeah, kind of
or
like.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like little
Yeah.
shit. It's just the tiny little things that affect, like, people that are non-addicts that just don't really understand how their brains work and things like that. So, like, now I'm kind of comfortable with it, but every now and then it's just kind of like,
Well,
that's why.
That's not surprising. It should affect you.
Yeah.
If you were to just say everything's fine, my life is wonderful, and everything, that wouldn't make any sense.
You'd be full of shit. That's what. Let's be honest.
There
Like,
you go. But I gotta be honest. You hold yourself very well, Dustin.
very.
When we first did your independent video, I was just shocked at how casual you were about the whole thing. And to be perfectly honest, your maturity level, it seems like you're a lot older than you are.
Oh, you'd be surprised, but I'm not here.
And he's humble. And he's humble. He's not just like,
he's like,
dude. I'm like,
dude,
hey.
I'm a fucking ass.
Don't get me wrong. I understand, like, emotions. I understand. Like, I'm just as human as everyone else is. It's like, you talk shit, I'll talk shit. It's just how it is. But, like, I know respect, I guess, is what you could say.
Thanks to my dad.
Yeah, a lot. Well,
That had nothing to do with
not
me.
only that, it's just like when you grow up through different families, through foster care, things like that, and you fight with random people, all that stupid little things start to affect a person. Either it could go negative or positive. I always just had like a positive way, even though everything was just negative around me. Like, you would never think I wanted to be a police officer from what I've grown up in.
Right.
Like, you would think I would statistically, I would be an addict.
Yeah.
Like,
You are an
90%.
addict.
Yeah.
Like, I
You
would be
literally
out-
are an addict
like,
without
I would-
doing it.
Yeah, I
So.
would be out, running amok, doing stupid shit. But
Running
no,
amok.
I'm trying
what he's
to
learned?
keep straight. That's all that matters really to me. Is that
I want to touch up on that one thing you said earlier in the video. You said they go two of one ways, depression or they go anger, right? And that's something that as soon as you said it, I thought about it. And I see could be a depression, but the anger you've got a serious lock on. Something that I struggle with more than anything. I still have a tendency to flip out about absolutely nothing. I'm sure
Guilty.
Dan does too. So again, I think that's another interesting perspective, especially if you're going to go into law enforcement. That's a great addition to have, is that you don't flip out. And that's important. You know, when you're handling somebody who's waving a knife in the air and you're not going, put it down, mother! Put it down!
I don't know where he got that, because me and my dad are both fucking dicks. Like, straight up, me and my dad will fight. We don't even fucking care, dude. We'll fight anybody.
It's like, if somebody came to where I work with a gun, I would just sit there like... That's it.
Probably doesn't make you nervous.
No, it doesn't. He has no fear.
Yeah. That's stupid, because like if I was told to jump off, like right here off the second story balcony, knowing that I could get hurt, but likeliness low, I would probably do it. Like, I'm stupid.
Once.
And so I hurt my leg or something.
It's kind of like, you shouldn't go help the cops, Dustin.
Yeah, I know.
But you do, and what happened?
I broke my leg and wasn't able to walk for 4 months. And
Right. I mean, like, so for me, I know that with him, so there's a lot Dustin don't say about himself. Like, he grew up, he has Asperger's. Mm-hmm. So he, over the years, the doctors always said, oh, he won't do well in school. He won't do this. He won't be able to do that. He won't be able to do this. Well, he's defied all those odds. Like, he's graduated high school doing normal classes, not special ed classes, all the way through. He's looking to become a police officer. He was going to join the Navy, but due to the police officer incident, not going to happen. And that's unheard of with somebody with Asperger's. It doesn't happen, right? He has literally taught himself how to not have Asperger's. I guess is the only way I can look. I mean, there's still signs of it, but there's not. You don't have the fits. You don't have the learning disability. He's too smart for his own fucking good most of the time. And he likes to show it. Right. Mm-hmm. And he's just holds his heart out on his sleeve. That's where the Asperger's comes out, right? Like, he loves with every fiber of his being. There is no not treating people equally. He treats everyone just with the same amount of love, right? And where he got that, I'm not quite sure. But, I mean, I try to do that now, but I'm pretty judgmental because I'm an addict and that's what we do. But he doesn't judge nobody. He feels like, okay, well, they made a mistake. Right? Where I'm like, well, fuck that, you're fucking up. I'm the first person to be very brutally honest, where he's like, no, Dad, just, look, they fucked up.
Yeah.
He has compassion.
That's awesome.
I think what was like the first cool thing that I did here when I first came here was the second chance thing. Remember with Squirtle? I was like, aren't we like a second chance, type of thing? I was like, why don't we just give him another second chance, to do something better? Because like, you mess up no matter what. Like, I failed a test in school, but I can always do better the next time, right? You could fail that one or do worse than you did before, but it's just, you should always have that positivity to think that you can always do better and to try your hardest, even if you think you can't when you can.
Absolutely. And, and even for what I do here, I go to him for advice, because me doing what I do here, we have to have compassion, but we also have to be a manager at the same time. So we have to separate our relationship from the people here, where he doesn't. He can just be like, no, that ain't right, Dad. No, why don't you try this? You know what I mean? Awesome. And I take that into account with everything I do. Like, I look up to my son and I respect my son. Like, that's just real, Yeah.
Maybe I should be your dad.
Hey, maybe.
So last question, before we wrap this up, why did you guys want to do a video together? Who are you guys hoping to help in this?
This is all about truth, right?
Yes.
Well, in starters, he came to my room and was like, hey, you want to do a video with me? And I was like, right now? He's like, yeah, Johnny Ray's doing Sean's, all that. I was like, nice. I was like, awesome. I'm in the middle of a game, keep in mind. I'm like,
what game?
Call of Duty.
Of course, that's what everybody's playing right now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And like, I was like killing, I was like shredding. And then I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then I died. So then we run over here. So, I mean, obviously this is going to affect, people as parents of addicts, things like that. It's also going to affect kids of addicts. Mm-hmm. Like, hopefully to give a better message and, like, keep them going straight or to help them to get straight.
Yeah.
The reason I did it
Great.
is to show people out there that there's still hope.
Yeah.
Well, our kids may say they've given up on us, and trust me, my kids have told me, fuck you, I am done with you. You're a piece of shit, I never want to talk to you again, but you know what? All of them talk to me now.
It's good.
So there's still hope. Don't give up. Like, for real, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, and they'll come around. If, you know, it's meant to be. Right?
I feel like every soul's forgiving one way or another.
Nice.
Yeah.
Poetic. Very nice. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
thank you.
Absolutely love you guys. So, Johnny Ray, you can find 5 Hour Recovery on, let's see, all social media platforms. If you watch my videos on YouTube, please press the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. If you want to email me your testimony or share your story with me, keep doing it. It's good. If you want to email me your testimony, you can send me an email at foraddictsfromaddicts@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thank you for listening. And I appreciate Dan and Dustin, who I'm sure will do more videos. And
Absolutely.
eventually are going to go into some treatment facilities and speak to actual patients and kick some ass on that. So,
Fuck yeah.
all right. Love you guys so much, and I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you for listening.